The chatter about life extension in 2025 was unrivaled excitement. The quest for extended mortality has reached an unprecedented peak, and today I'm going to show you the 5 most groundbreaking scientific revelations that emerged in 2025. Welcome to Longevity Science News. I'm Emmett Short. Usually when you watch one of our videos, it focuses on one aspect of the overall topic of longevity. Maybe a video will cover the potential for limb regeneration, or a breakthrough in artificial blood, or a promising new muscle-building peptide. But the fight for longer, healthier lives will succeed not through a single discovery, but a massive simultaneous effort. Research in exercise, testing, genetics, and AI are all a part of humanity's comprehensive war against aging. And we're going to now examine 5 distinct fundamental areas where substantial change happened in 2025. First up, self-experimentation culture. People are taking matters into their own hands, for better or worse. Never before in history have there been so many biohackers on Instagram using their bodies as guinea pigs, or using their doctoral degrees as the basis to go viral, hawking not for human consumption or for research use only substances or protocols, expensive equipment, services, retreats. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I myself have taken matters into my own hands and shoved Tijuana stem cells into my body. Hit my DMs and I'll tell you all about the potential benefits and some of the actual downsides that I experienced when I went to CPI. What I am saying is that the top trend from 2025 was the exponential rise of self-experimentation culture, the pinnacle of which was probably Brian Johnson live streaming himself, tripping balls on mushrooms in the name of longevity. Now, I'm not suggesting that you should take psychedelics on camera. I'm just saying that the willingness to experiment publicly, to share data transparently, and to normalize conversations about unconventional health interventions, that's the real breakthrough from 2025. The taboo is lifting. People are demanding access to experimental treatments without waiting decades for FDA approval. And this isn't just happening in someone's garage, it's becoming an industry. Concierge medicine exploded in 2025, giving people direct access to cutting-edge interventions if they can afford it. MDVIP has over 1,000 doctors using AI diagnostics to optimize biological age. One Medical, Amazon's healthcare play, offers virtual check-ins 24/7 for $99 a year. Noom launched their longevity companion using GLP-1 meds for metabolic hacking. But the really wild stuff? That's happening overseas. Six Senses resorts are now offering biohacking packages with glucose monitoring as welcome gifts and cryotherapy at their Ibiza Rose Bar. Chenot Palace Wegus in Switzerland, $10K a week for what they call the hospital of the future. Shaw Wellness Clinic is expanding from Spain to Mexico and UAE with genomic testing and neuro optimization. But here's where it gets really interesting and controversial. Liz Parrish, the founder and CEO of BioViva Sciences, made headlines a decade ago when she became the first person to genetically modify herself, injecting a gene therapy to express more follistatin for muscle growth.
But we can lengthen telomeres. Over 100 people have taken that gene therapy. We can increase muscle mass. We probably have over 200 people who have taken that gene therapy. We can cognitively enhance you. I'll show some data from one of our studies, and we've probably had about 150 people participate in that.
And in 2025, she's bigger than ever, literally. Over 200 people have now taken gene therapies through BioViva's programs.
That's integrative health systems. They've treated over 300 patients. They're a medical concierge service, and they do an excellent job. They have 13 doctors, and they've never had a major adverse event. We are super careful, but we're not so careful that we don't give therapeutic doses. So if you want a therapeutic dose without an adverse event, knock on wood, that's the place to go.
If you want telomere extension, book a flight. Want FOXO3 gene hack stem cells like those monkeys that aged backwards? There's a clinic for that. And if you want the full breakdown on Liz Parrish and BioViva, or the monkeys who reversed aging by 10 years in half of their cells, watch our recent videos linked in the description. This is the new frontier. It's not just biohacking in your bathroom, it's flying to another country, getting genetically modified, and documenting the whole thing for Instagram. Is it risky? Absolutely. Is it the future? No, it's already happening. This is a great time to mention our sponsor, the simplest way to get the most data about what's going on in your body, the HUME Body Pod. In 30 seconds, it measures 45 plus metrics at 98% DEXA accuracy. Body fat, muscle mass, visceral fat, bone density, hydration, BMR, BMI, protein, heart variability, and more. It can be very motivating to see those changes represented in data. Also, let's say you're spending a lot of money on something like peptides. You want to know those things are working. It syncs via Bluetooth to the HUME Health app, integrating with Apple Health, Fitbit, or Garmin. And a premium subscription adds AI coaching and a nutrition plan. This is far more than just a scale. It's a deep insight ecosystem. You can get a massive discount on this by using my link down below and the code longevity, which actually stacks with HUME's current sale for up to 50% off. That deal is only valid for 7 days, so act fast. And if you're in the US, it's also HSA, FSA eligible, so you might actually get it covered for free by your health insurance. And now, back to the episode. And speaking of self-experimentation, second on my list of big trends in longevity news 2025, peptides. Yes, we gotta talk about GLP-1s, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. The World Health Organization issued a global guideline endorsing GLP-1 therapies as a long-term treatment for obesity, officially recognizing metabolic disease as chronic and treatable. And the GLP-1 weight loss craze helped drive Eli Lilly to become the first pharmaceutical company ever to hit $1 trillion market valuation.
We've led in reducing the out-of-pocket costs, but it was originally $1,000, now it's $499 from us. We'll push that down further.
But Eli Lilly's biggest news in 2025 wasn't just about making existing drugs cheaper. It was about their next generation molecule, Retatrutide. Just this month, in 2025, they released phase 3 trial data from TRIUMPH-4, and it was absolutely staggering. This isn't just a weight loss drug. This is a full system metabolic overhaul, and it's just sitting there awaiting FDA approval. But true to that self-experimentation culture we talked about earlier, people aren't waiting. They're already getting Retatrutide from research pharmacies and compound clinics and jumping ahead of the official approval. Beyond GLP-1s, the peptide world has exploded in 2025. I'm sure you heard of BPC 157 and TB 500 for tissue repair, Epitalon for telomeres, MOTS-C for mitochondria, and honestly, so many more you'd think AI was inventing them. More on that in the next section. But the real excitement? Muscle-building antibodies like garetosmab and trevogrumab that could revolutionize how we build and maintain muscle as we age. If you want the full breakdown, check our video on muscle-building drugs, linked in the description. If you guys love the channel and you want to support, I've started posting new great interviews on the Patreon channel and for members only here on YouTube. So consider getting it for yourself as a little Christmas gift or get it for someone else, who knows. Either way, there's some really great stuff up there now, and I've got a bunch of great interviews planned for 2026. Now, the drug revolution is not slowing down. If anything, 2025 proved demand is outpacing regulation, and AI has actually begun to make a difference. 2025 marked a shift from AI generating ideas to AI-designed molecules actually moving through clinical trials. This isn't theoretical anymore, it's happening. Rentosartib, officially named by the FDA in 2025, is the first drug where both the target and the molecule were fully discovered by AI. In silico medicine's AI identified TNIK as a target for lung fibrosis, then it designed rentosartib to hit it. And phase 2A trials have showed a 98 milliliter improvement in lung function. From AI discovery to human trials, all in record time. But that's just one molecule. Let's talk about the antibiotics crisis. Drug-resistant bacteria kill between 1 and 5 million people every year. MIT researchers used generative AI to design over 36 million possible antibiotic compounds from scratch, and they found 2 winners. NG1 killed drug-resistant gonorrhea. DN1 killed both gonorrhea and MRSA. These aren't tweaks of existing antibiotics. They're entirely new molecules with new mechanisms. Fair Bio is now working to get them into human trials. And then there's AlphaFold 3. Google DeepMind's Nobel Prize-winning AlphaFold 3 predicts how proteins interact with drugs, DNA, RNA, antibodies, really everything. It's 50% more accurate than existing methods, and for small molecule outcomes, accuracy doubled in 2025. What used to take years figuring out how a drug binds to a protein, AlphaFold does in hours. And in October 2025, its creators won the Nobel Prize in chemistry. And the AI drug discovery boom didn't stop there. Recursion and Exscientia merged to create an end-to-end AI platform. Schrodinger's AI-designed drug reached phase 3 trials. MIT released BoltzGen for generating protein binders. Model medicines hit 100% success rate in early antiviral testing. Development timelines cut in half. Costs down 70%. Success rates up 80 to 90% versus 40 to 65% for traditional methods. The FDA even issued draft guidance for AI in drug development. They know this is the future. AI designing antibiotics that kill superbugs, AI discovering new drug targets, and AI designed molecules in human trials right now. The age of AI medicine arrived in 2025 and it's just revving up. And of course, none of this means anything unless it shows up in actual data. And in 2025, we got way better at measuring things. There are too many companies in this space to cover them all. So let me give you the heavy hitters. True Diagnostic is still the gold standard for epigenetic testing. Their True Age test measures DNA methylation, basically how used up your cells are. Generation Lab launched System Age, which claims even higher accuracy for at-home testing. Just mail in your kit, get your biological age back in a few weeks. Alamar Biosciences is doing something a little different. Ultra-sensitive proteomics. They're measuring proteins in your blood that are too rare for standard tests to catch. These proteins tell a more complete story about inflammation, cellular stress, and aging. But here's why all this matters. You can't improve what you don't measure. These tests let you know if your interventions, exercise, diet, supplements, whatever, are actually working. And in 2025, biological age testing went from niche biohacker toy to mainstream health metric. And that means people are finally taking aging seriously as something that we can track and manage and reverse. Remember in biology class when they told you mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell? Well, in 2025, we figured out how to upgrade that powerhouse. John G. Kramer is set to be the first person to receive lab-grown mitochondria as part of a pioneering longevity trial from Matrix Bio. Let that sink in. Lab-grown mitochondria. We're not just studying cellular energy anymore. We're replacing worn-out parts like you'd swap a dead battery. And then there's the nanotech approach from Texas A&M. Researchers developed MOS2 nanoflowers that stimulate stem cells to produce 2 to 4 times more mitochondria. Then those stem cells transfer the fresh mitochondria to damaged or aging human cells. The recipient cells showed restored energy production and improved resilience under stress. Essentially, we're teaching young cells to donate their energy factories to old cells. This is huge. Mitochondrial dysfunction is one of the hallmarks of aging, and if we can replace or regenerate mitochondria, we're directly addressing one of the root causes of why we age in the first place. So 2025 gave us 2 paths forward: replacement therapy with lab-grown mitochondria and nanotech stimulation to boost production. Either way, we're not just accepting that our cellular batteries die, we're recharging them. Honestly, this video could go on for hours. We didn't even come close to touching all of the areas where science might squeeze out a few more years in the average human life. We didn't talk about any of the new studies about exercise, sense of purpose, or cocoa. The point is, the cure for aging might come from one thing, or it's probably going to come from a combination of many things. And when we look back at a year like 2025, it's clear that so many smart, capable people are actively working in a variety of ways to make longevity a reality. all the teams of scientists, researchers, volunteers, inventors, investors, donors, and YouTube personalities who do the hard work of informing the public. But we all know the real heroes are the people who like and subscribe. Anyway, I'm inspired by all those people who are working behind the scenes to help us live for a long, long time. And I just can't think of a more inspiring idea to close out the new year. So thank you guys for watching. Happy New Year. And we can't wait to bring you more longevity science news in 2026.